Breaking on 4 News now at 6. One person shot and killed in Spokane Valley. We are live at the scene as deputies search for the shooter.
As you heard on World News, the first major snowstorm of the year is making its way across the U.S., but it won't hit the inland Northwest. I'll show you when we could see a return of snow in our area. Plus, I'm tracking low clouds and fog in your first alert forecast.
And the bird flu is cooking the poultry supply chain. We'll show you why it may be a long winter when it comes to scrambled eggs and fried chicken. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
And we begin with that breaking news out of Spokane Valley tonight. One man is dead, and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is looking for whoever pulled the trigger. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. This all happened on East 4th Avenue near University Road, a few blocks south of the Rose Hours there. Our Mary Sheridan is live at the scene. What have we learned since 5 o'clock, Mary?
Well, just moments ago, we saw a coroner's van enter through the caution tape of the crime scene right behind me to transport the body of the man that was shot and killed here today. I also spoke with a woman who's lived in a nearby neighborhood for 13 years, and she told me that she just couldn't believe this type of violence would happen so close to home. And she and many other people are returning home from work to find this active crime scene is still blocking traffic on 4th Avenue. Now, Spokane Valley Police and Major Crimes are investigating exactly what happened here that resulted in the man being shot and killed here around 12:20 this afternoon. Less than an hour after the shooting was reported, Spokane Valley deputies detained 2 suspects they believed could be related to this shooting. And this happened only about a mile away from the crime scene on Houck Road. And as of now, no charges have been filed. This is all still under investigation. And the crime scene is right across the street from the STA Park and Ride.
With this shooting I've seen occurring right in this area here right now, we're working with the STA security personnel to see if they have any video footage that might shed some light onto what occurred here.
And STA tells me they were able to maintain their normal bus routes today despite the road closure. Now, there's still no word from Spokane Valley Police on when this road will be reopened, but for now they tell me that the neighborhoods here are secured. Reporting live in Spokane Valley, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
Mary, thank you. Spokane police are searching for the person responsible for a shooting in the Logan neighborhood that left one person injured. It happened last night at the Nom Nom on East Illinois and North Perry. The victim was taken to the hospital. As of right now, investigators still have not said what led up to the shooting.
Well, if you've walked into any grocery store recently, you know how pricey eggs and chicken are right now.
Due to the bird flu, prices of eggs have increased dramatically while the supply of both eggs and chicken have gone down. Marissa Rio shares how this is affecting our local markets. Marissa.
The average price of a dozen cage-free eggs was $4.08 as of November 30th. That's a 30% increase from November of 2023, according to Nielsen market data provided by the Egg Board. And like Derek and Kirsten said, the bird flu isn't only affecting prices, but I spoke to many local markets today who told me they're struggling with supply in both chicken and eggs. One butcher shop said they've struggled with ordering chicken the past few weeks.
It's ridiculous how the price of eggs has just skyrocketed.
A healthy source of protein is now a pricey purchase. The manager at Trent Harvest Foods in Spokane Valley said their Cherry Lane eggs have increased since the bird flu outbreak. She believes her customers are now going elsewhere due to the costs, which range from $7.99 to $8.99 a dozen. But customers are still quick to buy all their supply in Eggland's best eggs, which are $4.39 a dozen. Their poultry prices have also been affected.
Well, it just seems that poultry isn't on sale as much as it used to be. I have one thing on sale right now, and that's boneless, skinless thighs. I usually have 3 or 4 different things on sale.
Timothy Perdue said he hasn't had an issue when he's tried to order chicken, but said as a smaller store, their orders aren't very large to begin with. Other local stores said they haven't had much of an issue when it comes to eggs because they purchase them from local farms.
The locally owned farms that I've spoke with have indicated they haven't seen quite as much an impact with the avian flu as some of the bigger farms that maybe are distributing throughout the whole U.S.
The Washington Food Industry Association thinks this might be because local farms have less birds for the flu to actively spread.
The Washington Food Industry is a nonprofit that represents independently owned grocery stores in the state and says as farmers work hard to get their supply back up, it's important we as consumers only purchase what we need. The hope is that this issue will begin to die down once fall migration is over and the warmer months arrive. In studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you. We are finally getting a break from all that wet weather.
Yeah, but we still have lots of clouds and fog to deal with. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to hear what that could mean for your morning commute.
Well, it is going to be a quiet week of weather. I was just looking back at the records. It's been 16 days since we've had a break from the rain or snow, but we're going to get one now. Low clouds and fog will be the issue. Occasional sun breaks in the afternoons. Enjoy them if you see them. And then our next chance of rain or snow holds off until Friday. But tomorrow morning, we are looking at the fog to be the issue heading out the door. Here is 6 a.m. The dense fog from the Palouse up through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area and through the Columbia Basin, particularly along Highway 2 and in some of the sheltered valleys of Northeast Washington and North Idaho. A closer look at the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Of course, the West Plains, a very common area to find that dense fog, and areas of freezing fog may also be an issue tomorrow morning. Otherwise, expect overcast conditions, a high temperature of 33 after a morning low of 29. 33 is our average high. I'll be back with more low clouds and fog in the forecast, but I also want to tell you about that system on the way for Friday. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. 336. That's how many people died from an overdose in Spokane County in 2024. And today, the Spokane City Council discussed 2 ordinances proposed by Mayor Lisa Brown to try to bring those numbers down. The first one would require stores in downtown to provide Narcan. That's the drug meant to reverse the effects of an overdose for free if they sell drug paraphernalia like pipes and foils.
And the second would ban the sale of single-serve to-go alcohol in downtown after midnight. So that's for things like tall boys or those small bottles of wine. Keep in mind, both of these bans would be completely voluntary. Madeline Mullins is live in Brown's Edition tonight with how banning the sale of these types of drinks is meant to help.
This is Baines Liquor Mart, and managers here say that some of the busiest times for alcohol sales are between midnight and 2 in the morning. And liquor stores all across downtown say they're not a fan of this ordinance, and they say that alcohol sales is not related to drug use in the city.
I don't think so. It will make any difference. Whoever's drinking, they're drinking daytime also.
And not only do shop owners not think it will make a difference, they say it will be bad for business.
And we have so much expenses we have to cover. If they close us like 12 o'clock, we have to close the store at nighttime, like midnight, and like someone gonna lose job also on that time.
However, city officials disagree. The Spokane Police Department says that within the last 3 years, more than 30% of all alcohol-related incidents took place downtown between midnight and 2. The city also says off-premise alcohol stores downtown are places with high drug activity. One study shows each off-premise alcohol store is associated with over 16% increase of neighborhood overdose rates.
Vast majority of what we're seeing on the street is more fentanyl related than it is alcohol related. But I do think that we are seeing a lot of folks who are using both.
Alcohol impact area would be voluntary for the first 6 months. And then if approved by the Liquor Control Board, Councilmember Michael Cathcart says it will be mandatory. Cathcart says alcohol impact area paired with the handing out of Narcan are tools to help lower drug use in the city.
It's another tool, I think, in helping us to try to address what we're seeing across the city.
Others say forcing stores to buy Narcan, which is around $20, is not the solution.
They shouldn't be selling foils. They shouldn't be selling chillums or whatever it is that they allow to that these people use to smoke these drugs out of. We need to get the drugs off the street.
But since the city is not allowed to ban drug paraphernalia from the store, Cathcart says forcing stores to purchase Narcan is the next option.
The whole idea is that if they are required to purchase Narcan and give it out for free, then perhaps the alternative to that would be that they would pull the items from the shelves and no longer sell them. To me, that is really where we need to go.
These ordinances are still in the planning phase, and Councilmember Cathcart says in the coming weeks there'll be more meetings to discuss this, and they will be looking for community input. Live in downtown Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. During tonight's City Council meeting happening right now, the council will vote on a proposed construction project meant to make the roads safer around Stevens Elementary School.
I've seen so many close calls. Cars just don't stop.
We'll show you what changes would be made to the area if the $1 million project is approved. That's coming up tonight at 6:30.
And still ahead, the 2024 presidential election results are now certified. We'll show you the security measures that were in place to ensure a peaceful transfer of power.
Plus, a federal judge says WSU was justified in firing former head football coach Nick Rolovich. Why the judge sided with the university after Rolo refused to get vaccinated. Next on 4 News Now.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+. 4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
This week, good things always happen when Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, comes live to GMA.
I'm back.
Plus,
Jamie Oliver, the one and only, baby.
Jamie's cooking things up for you live on
Good Morning America.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Wherever you need us, American On Site.
This is the Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic, and it responds to snoring, so you don't have to. So no more nudging your partner or sleeping on the other side of the house, because the Tempur Ergo Smart Base actually detects snoring, then automatically adjusts to help reduce it all night, every night.
And for a limited time, save up to $500 on select adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Meet Gomer Pyle, Musical Marie.
Watch Me TV over the air on KXLY 4.2.
Well, a federal judge has ruled Washington State University had the right to fire former head football coach Nick Rolovich for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine. WSU fired Rolovich in October of 2021. He sued the university and the state, saying he should have been allowed to skip the vaccine for religious reasons.
But the judge wrote the university had shown Rolovich needed to get vaccinated since, as head coach, he frequently had in-person interactions with students, staff, and members of the media. The judge also wrote in thousands of pages of evidence there were examples of Rolovich expressing secular concerns about the vaccine and not religious ones.
Around the nation, in Washington, D.C., Congress met in a joint session to certify the presidential election results. It's a procedural event needed before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration.
Exactly 4 years ago, that process did not go as planned as rioters stormed the Capitol. CNN's Julia Benbrook has more.
It was a snow day for many in Washington, but Congress still met to certify the results of the 2024 presidential election, a process that looked much different than it did 4 years ago, but still brought back memories of the attack that took place here.
In just 2 weeks, Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States, marking a significant political comeback.
We've achieved the most incredible
political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
A joint session of Congress meeting Monday to certify the Electoral College vote count and finalize Trump's win. A procedural event that didn't receive as much attention until January 6, 2021. 4 years ago, a violent riot at the Capitol interrupted the certification of President Joe Biden's win. Hours before, Trump had addressed his supporters in Washington and repeated falsehoods about the 2020 election.
So for us to not only be a democracy, but to be the beacon of democracy around the global world, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that events like January 6th from 4 years ago never, in fact, ever happen again.
Over 140 officers were injured during that riot, and the U.S. Attorney in D.C. has charged more than 1,500 people with crimes related to it, 2/3 of whom have pleaded guilty. Additional security measures are in place this year.
We're living in a time of heightened threat environment toward government and elected officials. Our nation's capital is prepared to ensure that the legislative process will proceed without disruption.
For the first time, the Department of Homeland Security has designated the certification as a national special security event. Now, as vice president, Trump's opponent in the race for the White House, Kamala Harris, certified the results, a constitutional duty she called a sacred obligation. Both Harris and Biden have promised a peaceful transition of power. Trump will be sworn in on January 20th. Reporting at the Capitol, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Well, today was our first dry day in more than 16 days. We hit 35 for a high. 33 is our average high. Sunset tonight was at 4:15. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and let you know when the wet weather will return after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Super One Foods.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Witness the rock and roll flair reminiscent of the king himself, Elvis Presley. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses Snow live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, January 16th. Visit cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
70% of Washington jobs require education beyond high school, and that number is on the rise. Free or low-cost college or career training is possible for your child. Apply now and ensure there's a more lucrative and stable career in their future. Learn how at wogrant.org.
When it comes to buying used vehicles, we know that there's a lot of options for you out there.
Make Colville Toyota your first option for quality used vehicles.
Before our cars hit the lot, we inspect and repair any issues that we may find. We care about our customers and our cars, and it shows with the extra TLC that we put into them.
If you're in the market for a new, used, or certified vehicle, come to Colville Toyota and buy with confidence.
Because we're your small-town dealership with a big heart.
Weekdays on H&I. Buckle up.
Now strap yourself in. Put on your seatbelt.
Shift into gear.
Gear up. Let's roll.
And punch it.
Now this here is a different kind of driver.
For 5 hours of all gas and no brakes.
Keep the pedal to the metal, kid.
From heroes who always come through in the clutch.
I can't breathe. You're gonna see some fancy driving.
The H&I Day Shift. Watch Heroes and Icons over the air on KXLY 4.3.
Drive safe.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer. You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Witness the rock and roll flair reminiscent of the king himself, Elvis Presley. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses Snow live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, January 16th. Visit cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
All right, welcome back. Chris Crocker joins us now, and a little weird today not have rain or snow to deal
and
with.
All the trees being picked up on my street. It really feels like the end of the holiday season.
Yes, it does. It doesn't mean we're done with the snow, but for the short term we are. It is going to be a little bit cooler than it has been. However, let's talk about live conditions right now. It's already 28 in Coeur d'Alene. Skies are clear. This number is not going to drop much from the current reading. In fact, it may actually increase a little bit this evening as the fog develops in Coeur d'Alene. 33 and mostly cloudy right now in Spokane. In general, we'll be bottoming out in the 20s across the region. High pressure in control, tracking our weather pattern. We're going to be dry tonight, dry all day Tuesday. There is a weak disturbance passing by to the north early Wednesday morning. Here's 4 a.m. Wednesday that may bring a few isolated snow flurries, but mostly we're going to be staying dry. Dry all day Wednesday into Thursday. Finally on Friday, this next system moves in and may fall in a variety of forms, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of accumulating snow with this system down in the valleys, particularly from Spokane and Coeur d'Alene north. Mountain snow, we'll get another good shot of powder just in time for the weekend. Our high temperatures very close to average. We have been so far above average for most of December and January. This white line is our average high. We're going to be right around average through Saturday and then start trending below Sunday and Monday, and that holds in the 8 to 14 day forecast as well, January 14th through the 20th in that blue, indicating that trend toward below average precipitation or temperatures. Precipitation is a little more of a question mark, and no strong signal one way or another for that time period. But with below average temperatures, precipitation that we do receive in that time period most likely will fall in the form of snow. Meanwhile, high temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid 30s in most locations, 31 in Spirit Lake, 34 in Meade, 33 in Deer Park, and then 35 in downtown Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake, as well as Coeur d'Alene, Spangle, also 35 degrees. High temperatures around the region also in the 30s. Only a couple of spots staying below freezing. Winthrop and Colville, 43 in Lewiston. Your 7-day forecast, quiet weather through Thursday. Then we have that chance of rain or snow. I'm leaning towards snow with a high of only 34, but we'll keep a close eye on that. Overnight lows will be down in the 20s. We have not been in the 20s much this winter. We've had such warm overnights, and then the possibility of some sunshine for the weekend and into early next week. I think a lot of people would take slightly colder weather if it came along with some sun. Derek?
Yeah, no doubt. All right, still ahead, new details on the man who plowed through a crowd in New Orleans on New Year's Day, leaving 14 people dead. What investigators say he was up to hours and even months ahead of the attack.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Injured in a car wreck?
Insurance company giving you the runaround?
Delays, excuses, and lowball offers.
Don't get hurt twice.
Get twice the help.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
All right, gang, it's on and popping.
Hi, Dad. Papa! I need a place to stay until I figure out what the rest of my life looks like.
So, a couple of days.
Oh.
Really?
Can I just get one quick peek?
No. How do I look? Thanks, girl.
Where did y'all find this man? Go see your
We're really doing this, huh?
We're doing it.
Magical moments. Snowy adventures. Warming up. Making memories. A winter wonderland. The perfect close-by getaway this winter is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Find countless ways to play and plan your escape at cdawinter.com.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, In every moment, make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
We're on with what's new this morning. What's happening now.
And what's next for you?
Get what's new now and next at 5 and 6 a.m. right here.
And right here at 7A.
Because we're on all morning long. Good Morning Northwest and GMA.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gold Seal Plumbing.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are in New Orleans tonight to mourn the victims of the New Year's Day truck attack.
Meanwhile, investigators are learning more about what the suspect did in the hours and months before the attack. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
Today, the president and first lady visit a community in grief on the first of a 14-day mourning period in Louisiana, one for each person killed in the New Year's Day attack on Bourbon Street. The victims range from 18 to 63 years old and include mothers, sons, and brothers.
Right now, I'm lost for words, really. This is a tragedy where we got to deal with all this violence from all around the world. Why here?
We have a clearer picture today than we did even 2 days ago.
Investigators say this video shows 42-year-old suspect Shamsuddin Jabbar riding a bike around New Orleans' French Quarter in October, recording using Meta smart glasses. They add the Houston native visited New Orleans again in November. And in the hours before the attack, Jabbar is identified in surveillance video planting 2 homemade explosive devices in separate coolers, one on Bourbon Street just before 2 a.m., another half an hour later a block away. At 3:15 a.m., investigators say Jabbar swerved that rented pickup truck up Bourbon Street into a crowd. But the IEDs never detonated, the ATF says, because Jabbar didn't use the right device to set it off. Today marks the start of Mardi Gras season in New Orleans. The Super Bowl arrives next month. Officials are now facing questions about whether the city is prepared to keep either secure.
I have specifically requested through the White House that the city of New Orleans be assisted with getting a tactical expert in our city this week to map our city for target hardening measures.
And today, the White House upgraded New Orleans' threat rating for Mardi Gras to the highest possible, giving the city more resources from the Department of Homeland Security. In 2019, the city commissioned a report to review its safety vulnerabilities and found the French Quarter's security bollards were not fully functional. The replacement bollards have been under construction for years. The city's deadline was the Super Bowl. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, New Orleans.
Well, Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson has filed a lawsuit against T-Mobile, accusing the company of failing to secure the personal data of over 2 million Washingtonians, leading to a massive data breach. The breach, which exposed sensitive information like social security numbers, names, and addresses, resulted from T-Mobile's failure to address known cybersecurity vulnerabilities. The lawsuit filed in King County Superior Court claims T-Mobile misled consumers about its data protection efforts and did not properly notify affected individuals about the breach, downplaying its severity. The breach happened in 2021 and affected over 79 million consumers nationwide. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including the new initiatives Idaho Governor Brad Little announced during his State of the State address.
And safety concerns around Stevens Elementary. We take a look at the proposed city construction plan to make the roads safer and why the principal and parents say it's a must for student safety. That's after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power on board to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
From the fields of the Pacific Northwest to the tables of the world, agriculture is at the heart of it all. This February, come in from the cold and join us at the Spokane Ag Show, where we meet together, learn about the industry, and grow. With over 200 exhibitors, expert-led seminars, guest host Rob Sharkey, and live music, it's a show you can't miss. Join us February 4th through the 6th at the Spokane Convention Center. Visit agshow.org for all the details.
How do you keep performing at a high level when you're a man over 40? By taking Manpower. Manpower helps your body produce and conserve your own natural testosterone for a healthy sex life and positive mental attitude. Experience a vibrant, active life again with the energy and drive of a younger you. Manpower is available at any Mother's Cupboard location, Lincoln Heights, North Point Plaza, or University Road in the Valley.
Mother's Cupboard, things that make you feel good.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Welcome to the card for Zags fans who dream big. Get your exclusive Gonzaga debit card from Numerica today.
The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power on board to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
These are violent criminals, so they're not going to go down easy. Let's get this done.
Being a cop is stressful. 24/7.
Every year on the job is different. You never really stop being a rookie.
Because if we lose control, bad things happen.
Work smarter, not harder.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, any minute now, the Spokane City Council will vote on a contract to change these intersections around Stevens Elementary. The contract's plan to make it safer for kids walking to and from school, which their principal says most of them do.
However, it is a costly contract. Nearly $1 million would be spent from a Washington State grant and the city's arterial street fund. The most visible change will be at this intersection, Mission and Magnolia, where crews would put in a new enhanced crosswalk with flashing lights. Hunter Bertram spoke with parents and staff today and shows us why parents are extra worried about their kids walking to school.
When you're standing outside of an elementary school, you're typically expecting to hear the sound of a school bell ringing or kids screaming on the playground. But here at Stevens Elementary School in the Chief Gary Park neighborhood, this is what you hear. It's cars buzzing by.
We need more crosswalks, we need lights, we need crossing guards.
Michaela Johnson has 2 kids at Stevens Elementary. She also works there as a para-educator. She worries one day the school will
have to call their parents and be like, hey, your child got hit by a car.
She tells me she's seen countless close calls as kids walk across these busy streets. Even during our interview as we chatted, a truck sped past behind her way too fast for a school zone.
Main example.
Principal Adrienne Espindola has also seen the dangers of these streets.
From time to time, you know, your driver that's kind of unaware or not paying attention, and thankfully nothing has happened.
He says a year and a half ago, the city asked him how to improve safety for his students. With traffic as a top concern, the city came up with a nearly $1 million plan. These intersections shown in the plan would undergo changes. Some will be cut back for larger curbs and crosswalks. Others will be redesigned for ADA compliance. And some will be equipped with new bright lights.
We really need this.
Principal Espindola is grateful they have a team of crossing guards, but he hopes more will be done to protect his students.
So it's important that, we do what we can to make sure that we have people out, we have the necessary improvements along the street and on the sidewalks to make sure that kids are getting to school, as safely as they can.
In Spokane, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your first alert forecast.
Low clouds and fog, but nothing coming out of those clouds for the next few days. We are looking at dry conditions, but that fog can cause problems with visibility as well as areas of freezing fog. Most likely tomorrow morning, we will see that problem along Highway 2 between Spokane and Wilbur, also down on the Idaho and Washington Palouse and some of the northern sheltered valleys. Here's a closer look at the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning with that fog especially dense on the West Plains, but there will be other areas where you see the white, where that fog is dense. That's a quarter-mile visibility or less. And of course, anytime you get that really dense fog, there's a possibility of some freezing drizzle or snow flurries condensing out of the fog. Tuesday morning lows will be in the 20s in most locations, downtown the exception at 30 degrees around the region, most locations in the 20s, 13 in Winthrop, 34 in Lewiston, 30 degrees tomorrow morning in Pullman. Your Tuesday planner might see a little bit of sunshine as we get into the afternoon, but more likely a short thermometer and a high of only 33. That is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Today, Idaho Governor Brad Little delivered his annual State of the State address. He highlighted the improvements made to Idaho public schools over the last 5 years, but says more needs to be done.
I look forward to working with the legislature to address gaps in rural school facilities, mental health, school safety, and literacy.
Now, this is just one part of Little's Keeping Promises plan. The plan would also increase funding to help attract and retain crews of first responders who would help battle wildfires.
Idahoans are tired of choking on smoke for weeks on end. I look forward to working with the Trump administration to boldly transform how wildfire in our western lands are managed.
Now, Little's plan still needs to make its way through the legislature before any of this could be implemented.
Well, 3 teens in Grant County are now facing charges for stealing a car and running away from deputies. Investigators say deputies tried to pull over the stolen car on Highway 282 in Ephrata. The car took off and deputies had to cancel the pursuit because of fog, but placed spike strips further down the road, which popped the driver's side tires. The sheriff's office says the car crashed and they arrested 2 14-year-olds and a 16-year-old. When deputies searched the teens, they say they found a revolver, a stolen rifle, and a small amount of drugs with them.
All right, Costco is recalling its Kirkland Signature brand severe cold and flu plus congestion medication. The company says some of the packages could be contaminated with foreign material. A specific lot of the medication had been rejected due to the contamination and was not supposed to be shipped, but it was sold nationally between October 30th and November 30th of last year. Costco says consumers can return the packages for a full refund.
Ford is recalling 300,000 F-Series trucks because of an issue with the fuel pump, that could cause the truck to lose power. The recall applies to 2020 and 2022 models. Ford will send letters to all impacted customers starting next week. If 2024 was unkind to your wallet, the new year is a great time for a fresh start.
ABC's Jacqueline Lee has tips on how you can set yourself up for financial success this year.
For many, 2024 was challenging financially. Creating a nest egg while trying to make ends meet can prove difficult.
The new year offers a really good opportunity to get in a different headspace about money.
Opening a high-yield savings account is a great place to start.
There are many online high-yield banks, like Bread Financial is one of my favorites. They offer a 4.6% APY, which is quite high, and the account is very easy to set up, and then you set up automatic withdrawals.
Also, having a separate account for savings can be less tempting to dip into until you really need it. Clearing out your clutter can bring in extra cash by taking clothing you no longer wear to a consignment shop where you can earn a commission on the sale. And for unwanted gold jewelry and electronics, there are companies that will buy them from you.
Give you a prepaid label and you just send it right to them and they pay you out very quickly.
With food prices showing no signs of dropping, consider loyalty rewards programs, buying in bulk and using cash back cards as a way to get some relief. Even if you're taking a break from credit, you can still earn on purchases with cash back debit cards. Impulse shopping can be a real problem because modern tech makes it so easy.
Removing the payment method from your social media channels, from your mobile wallet like Apple Pay or Google Pay, that just makes it so you have to take an extra step. You could also kind of establish a rule where you have to wait a while before you make a purchase.
Lastly, try giving yourself an allowance every month with a firm cutoff amount. Wise choices now can result in big savings at year's end. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, a new week means accolades are out for great performances.
And for the Gonzaga women's basketball team, it's hard to get better than a 2-0 week, Jack.
Indeed, Zags are off to a great start in WCC play. They're 4-2, 3-0 in their last 3. And after the break, we'll take a look at the player who was recognized for sparking that run.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Bigfoot Mechanical.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
When it comes to your health, put yourself in the driver's seat. As an older adult, you're at higher risk for severe flu and COVID. In fact, people 65 and older who didn't get last season's vaccines were twice as likely to wind up in the hospital. But you hold the key. Be ready for the road ahead by getting your updated flu and COVID vaccines. Risk less, do more.
Fred's Appliance Clearance Centers are your one-stop shop for top-quality appliances and unbeatable prices. Top brand closeouts, full factory warranty, and new inventory arriving daily. Take advantage of incredible discounts with savings you won't find anywhere else. Hurry in! With Fred's Clearance Center's huge selection of heavily discounted name brand appliances, the inventory moves fast. For the best deals on appliances in Spokane, visit either of Fred's Clearance Centers today.
Next ET, inside Hollywood's Party of the Year.
Where else would ET be?
The couples, the fashion.
It feels like a coronation.
Come on, baby.
What you didn't see on TV. It's ET at the Golden Globes. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
It's Special Agent Will Trent. How do I look? Thanks, girl. First case back. We're gonna solve this.
West Coast Conference Players of the Week are out today, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs women's basketball team took home a nod with Mott Hybens, her first career weekly conference award. Hybens had an incredible week for the Zags, averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds per game, earning a pair of double-doubles in as many games played. She shot a remarkable 73% from the field and a perfect 6 for 6 in the first half against Portland earlier in the week and 6 for 7 in the second half against Santa Clara, this game you're seeing now later in the week. Gonzaga now rides a 3-game winning streak, sitting at 4-2 in conference play. They're off this Thursday, prepping for the big one, a game at Washington State this Saturday at noon. New Idaho head coach Thomas Ford continues to build his coaching staff with another hire today. Vandals announced that Sheldon Cross joins the program as a new tight ends coach and recruiting coordinator. Cross spent some time last up as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the FCS Stetson Hatters, a team that led the Pioneer League in passing yards and yards per game. Note, Pioneer League, no scholarship players in that league, yet had 6 different quarterbacks take snaps in their 11 games played. Cross is also a Washington native, having graduated from Stadium High School in Tacoma. Eastern Washington's football season ended in a disappointing 4-8 fashion, but the Eagles can now fully focus to the 2025 season with their opponent slate set. EWU takes on Incarnate Word, Boise State, Northern Iowa, and Western Illinois. All but WIU are going to be on the road. Incarnate Word was the first team in the Southland Conference history last year, finishing unbeaten in conference play. They then lost in the FCS quarterfinals to Jimmy Rogers, South Dakota State. Boise State just finished a fantastic season, winning the Mountain West and advancing to the college football playoffs, losing in the quarterfinals to Penn State. Northern Iowa in Eastern last met in the 2021 FCS playoffs, an Eagle home win. And then lastly, EWU and Western Illinois also met in that 2021 year. another Eastern W. Taking a look at the slate plus the next 2 seasons, Eagles host Northern Iowa in 2026, plus a trip to South Dakota and Washington. And 2027 features a road trek to the Oregon Ducks and hosting South Dakota and Incarnate Word. The Eagles also play at Montana State, Portland State, Idaho, at Weber State, Sacramento State, at Montana, Northern Colorado, and at Cal Poly this year in conference play. All those dates you see set. 2025 season kicks off this August. Speaking of the Big Sky Conference, they inked a new deal today with ESPN to extend their current contract 5 years. It will double the conference's TV coverage for football, ensuring that a minimum of 4 regular season games will air on ESPN networks, 2 of those 4 on ESPN or ESPN2. For basketball, the deal includes 1 men's regular season conference game and 3 tournament games, plus 1 women's conference tournament game. And at least 1 of the men's semifinals will air nationally, and the championship game will air on either ESPN or ESPN2, while the women's title game will remain on ESPNU. All Big Sky Conference games for football, men's and women's basketball will air on ESPN platforms, including all home and conference games for soccer, volleyball, and softball. This deal begins in the 2025-26 academic year. Major news out of Seattle this afternoon. Seahawks fired offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb after just 1 season. Seattle ranked in the bottom half or even bottom few teams in the most major rushing statistics, including 28th in total rushing yards, while having 2 high-graded running backs in Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Seahawks passed the ball over 62% of the time. That's the 5th highest rate in the NFL. Especially interesting as head coach Mike Macdonald came to the Northwest from Baltimore, a team that this season, now without him, passed the ball at the 2nd lowest rate in the league. Quarterback Geno Smith flourished with the offense, though, personal best in a lot of passing stats, and he defended Grubb in the presser. Macdonald did not get into specifics on the decision, and the search for that new OC is on. But 10 wins for Seattle, that's their most without a playoff bid since 1986. It stings. A lot to be hopeful, though, for next season.
Yeah. Sure hope so.
It was fun to watch yesterday. I mean, regardless, my nephew Easton was giving us highlights as we were watching and bowling at North Bowl. It was fun.
And Gino hit all those incentives, too. All right.
Yeah, he did.
Chris?
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have a quiet week of weather. That's something we haven't seen a lot of. We're going to dry out, but keep the low clouds and fog. Occasional sun breaks. Our next chance of showers is on Friday. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Surf and turf. Surf and turf. Low and slow and roasty beef. 2 of those things for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
Are you struggling to get through the day? Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
At Parker Toyota, our commitment to you begins the moment you drive off the lot in your new vehicle.
We have more Toyota Master Diagnostic technicians than anyone in the Northwest.
That means our technicians are the most experienced at identifying and fixing any mechanical issues, ensuring that your Toyota receives the care it deserves.
Open 7 days a week. Call or go online to schedule your appointment at parkertoyota.com.
Did you know that Washington's Working Families Tax Credit could put up to $1,200 back in your pocket? If you're part of a low to moderate income household, you could be eligible for a refund designed to help you cover essentials like groceries, gas, or bills. The best part? Applying is free and easy. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov to see if you qualify. Don't miss out. Apply now and make sure you get the refund you deserve. That's workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
surf and turf. 2 sandwiches. The sea giveth crispy fish. For $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Well, the first major snowstorm of 2025 hit the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic near blizzard conditions, making roads treacherous, stranding more than 1,000 drivers. And in this video, you can see an avalanche in Utah. And Washington, D.C. was buried in snow, with the mayor there declaring a snow emergency.
But many made the best of this snow day.
I just moved to Washington, D.C. in the fall, so I thought my skiing days were maybe behind me, but this is awesome. Best snow day ever.
Well, it wasn't just people getting in on the fun. Look at this video of pandas at the Smithsonian. You can see them frolicking, somersaulting, occasionally just rolling down the hill in their outdoor habitat. They look like Rory.
Oh, so cute. Oh, you're the dog.
Yeah, the birdie's
Yes.
mountain dog at my house. He loves the snow.
Loving the snow, yeah, for
That's
sure.
a good thing we live here in Seattle, where it just rains and we never get the. Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
No, we don't. And it has been unusual. I will say, we've been checking the snowpack. We can take a little break from the snow. We don't have to covet that snow that they're getting. I will show you in just a moment. First of all, the stats for today: 35 our high, 33 is our average high. We started the day off at 31. We have had such mild weather. There's signs of a cold snap. Not maybe a snap, maybe a cooling trend in our forecast. We still have had such a mild winter with no real cold weather. 4:15 is our sunset. We've had no precipitation at the airport today for the first time in 16 days. No measurable rain at the airport. And our year to date, we did have to zero out the counter at the new year. We finished the year a little above average, and we're well above average for the first 6 days of the year. We're going to take a little break from the wet weather. We only have a chance, 50% chance of rain or snow on Friday. Otherwise, it is dry, and it looks like it will stay dry then through the beginning of next week at least. But we can afford to take a break. This is our percent of usual rain just over the last 30 days. As you can see, many locations are well above average. In the Columbia Basin, 237% of average in Moses Lake. We're 106% of average in Spokane, above average precipitation through the panhandle of Idaho. Only Pullman and Lewiston reporting slightly below average precipitation throughout the Northwest. Of course, we really depend on our snowpack, and even though it has been just a fraction of our average snow down in the valleys, the mountains are in good shape, with river basins around the region running above average, particularly south in some of those areas where their rainfall has been below average. Snake River Valley, above average snowpack. And that's what really matters as we get into the dry season. Your planning forecast is dry. Low clouds and fog for the next couple of days. We do have a 50% chance of snow, possibly mixed with rain on Friday. As that gets closer to time, we'll dial in on what we can expect from that. And then we dry out again, but also cool down. Some of the coldest weather we've seen pretty much all winter on the way for the beginning of next week. Again, that is not saying much, but it may still feel like a bit of a shock, Derek.
All right. Chris, thank you. Well, President Joe Biden recently signed a new law that will increase Social Security payments for millions of Americans.
CNN's Jen Sullivan explains what these changes mean for retirees and their families.
Millions of Americans will be getting bigger Social Security payments thanks to a bipartisan bill that President Joe Biden signed into law Sunday.
Social Security
is a bedrock of financial security for retirees and survivors.
The Social Security Fairness Act increases payments by, according to Biden, about $360 per month for about 2.5 million teachers, firefighters, policemen, and other public sector workers who also receive pension income.
Americans who have worked hard all their lives to earn an honest living should be able to retire with economic security and dignity.
The law eliminates two previous provisions that reduce payments for public service retirees and their spouses. First, the windfall elimination provision, which lowered payments for retired or disabled workers who also received pension payments, and the government pension offset, which reduced Social Security benefits for spouses, widows, and widowers who also received a government pension of their own.
We focused on the repeal of provisions that have been an injustice to many public servants over the last 40 years.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates the legislation will cost nearly $200 billion over 10 years. The Social Security Office says those impacted won't need to make any changes unless they have a new address or their direct deposit information is changed. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And before we head to a break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This isn't our dog.
That one?
You never got new glasses, did you?
Well, you didn't know Stanton Optical makes eye care easy.
Exactly.
2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. At the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Who isn't looking for extra ways to save some money these days, right? I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my Ascend checking account. It's a free account that offers 3.5% of your average monthly balance. That can feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but it also has all the best features of a checking account. What's not to love?
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
Papa Murphy's new cheesy stuffed crust pizza. It's what stuffed crust pizza should be. Hot, melty, and fresh from your oven. Starting at $13.99.
Are you looking for a good time to replace your carpets or give your kitchen or bathroom an upgrade?
Well, right now we are celebrating the new year by giving you 20% off installation to make your home more beautiful in 2025.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
Dry on Tuesday with morning fog and low clouds. Fairly gray. If you do see some sunshine, enjoy it while it lasts. That high of 33 is exactly average.
You know, you're showing your 7-day forecast earlier. Like, we're still like highs in, the 30s here. We haven't really hit super cold. We should probably find some
we have not. We have not had a cold snap. No teens in Spokane. No single digits.
And it does look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet.
I'll take it.